Talking about win and winning. Another win for us in Atlas Core is our focus on collaboration. In Atlas Core, we call it the win-win-win. Individuals win by receiving great leadership training. Organizations win by engaging great talent. And Atlas Core wins as we grow our global community. So we call it win-win-win. Fair. When did you become a part of this win-win-win? In other words, how did you learn about your fellowship?
Funny you should ask. The Atlas Core Fellowship was my birthday gift.
Birthday.
I had the interview with my host organization, and any other fellow will tell you that that is the interview. It was on April 22nd, and 2 weeks later, thank God for, quick turnaround times, I received the offer to begin my fellowship in July this year. I call it my... Thank you. I call it my birthday gift because I had celebrated my 30th birthday on April 30th, a week earlier. As the cool kids would say, hashtag 30th on the 30. Talk about starting a new decade with a bang. Since we're talking wins, and I don't know if we'll be able to spotlight her, but I'm trying to look for her. Sarah, kindly stand up. Sarah, the Atlas Core Partnership Manager, joined. There she is. I love it. She joined in February this year, so I was her first placement. Whoop, whoop. There was a thing. It was, it was written in the works. I'm a blended fellow, which means that I began my fellowship remotely because, as fate would have it, there was a 42-day lockdown in my home country, Uganda, that made it impossible for me to get a visa interview. I started in July remotely. Everything was great. Special shout out to my program contact, who unfortunately is not here, Hannah, that made the whole process seamless. But as they say, the rest is history, because I am here in Washington, D.C. today, celebrating 15 years of Atlas Core creating leadership development opportunities for social change leaders like yours truly across the globe. Thank you. Tonight is my opportunity to give my official thank you to everyone, like everyone here, everyone watching virtually, that made this journey possible. Volunteers who read my application, my host organization, Advocates for Youth, funders, like the awesome people from Chaffley, at whose table I'm sitting. Everyone, I can't name you all, but you have all been a great part of this journey. Thank you. It feels great to share with you all. Kayode, what is your Atlas Core creation? I know part of it shows how you worked as a blended fellow so that I could run.
Awesome. While your story was that of a birthday gift, mine was a story of love. I got my confirmation of my fellowship on the 13th of February, 2020, just one day before Valentine's Day. And of course, it made Valentine's Day last year exciting for me. Unfortunately, because of COVID, my arrival to the US was delayed for 15 good months. Yes, so I arrived in the US in July 2021. And since we're giving shout outs to program contacts, shout outs to Zach, my program contact. We had several back and forths. And I'm also happy to mention that I'm from class 39. And in terms of being blended fellows, we are the OGs, we're the original Gs, because we started the blended fellowship. As a matter of fact, I actually thought that the fellowship was going to be canceled because we got notified in February, we went into a lockdown in March, and the lockdown was like almost all through the year. But hey, here we are.
Here we are.
I'm done with my fellowship, 18 months of awesome service, not just with my host organization, Evidence Action, but also with other fellows at Atlas Corps. So thank you very much to everyone in this room for all of your efforts.
Yes, honestly, it warms my heart. And I'm so glad that you got, to be the guinea pig, and Atlas Corps is happy to say, yes, blended fellowships can work. And it warms my heart to know that being here today, we are more committed to social change. Let's celebrate some of those social change leaders that are inspiring our world. It's time to present our Changemakers Awards. Please join me in welcoming Atlas Corps CEO, as we know him, the Chief Listening Officer, Bijan Nashat, back here.
You guys are not only blended, you're blessed.
Thank you.
I have good news. I'm not giving another speech. I have the honor of doing two honorable welcomes. And the first one is Her Excellency, the Ambassador to the U.S. from Ecuador, is here with us. Ambassador Aki Ivan, thank you so much for joining us. It's an honor for us to have you here. And in addition, I'm sorry.
She's from Ecuador.
We'll get to her story in a bit. Don't worry. We also have the counselor, Juanita Rodriguez, from the Embassy of Colombia, here with us. Ask her about her fun fact. Tonight, we gather to recognize our global community of changemakers. We celebrate the potential, the innovation, and the achievements that occur when talent crosses borders and connects with new ideas. We celebrate the positive impact that occurs when doors of opportunity are opened so that talent may flourish. Tonight, we highlight 3 individuals, I get 2 of them, who have achieved within their own professional and personal paths while also motivating others. First, we recognize the 2021 Atlas Corps Alumni Changemaker honoree Gargi Saha that Whitney already mentioned. We celebrated her online and live on Thursday, but let me tell you a little bit about her. She's special. She started as an Atlas Corps Fellow from Class 1 from India. She served at Ashoka Youth Ventures. She currently serves as Child Protection Officer for UNICEF in India. Since her Atlas Corps Fellowship, Gargi has worked with thousands of affected communities devastated by the Kosi floods in 2008, and was also involved in direct rescue operations of more than 2,000 children within 6 months from child trafficking, forced labor, and child marriage in the bordering districts of Bihar and Nepal. She has successfully enacted legislation and built models that work to combat child and human trafficking in South Asia. Gargi embodies the Atlas Corps values as she continues to serve for a greater cause than herself while creating tremendous global change. She also shared some insightful words during our virtual celebration on Thursday. I encourage everyone to visit the Atlas Corps YouTube page to watch. Gargi, congrats and thank you. Thank you for being a pioneer and joining Atlas Corps Class 1 when this global community was just starting. And now, it's my honor to recognize our 2021 Global Changemaker honoree, Nina Vaca. I'm really sorry, this is too much to remember because it's a lot. Nina is chairman and CEO of Pinnacle Group, a global workforce solutions provider focused on IT professional solutions for the Fortune 500. Pinnacle is among the largest and most successful firms in the industry and has twice been named the fastest growing woman-owned company of any kind in the US. Nina has been honored as part of the Global Power 150 Women in Staffing for each of the past 6 years, was recently named as one of the 50 industry leaders for diversity, equity, and inclusion. In addition to her partnership of Pinnacle, Nina serves as a director of 3 corporate boards of publicly traded companies. Nina is also a civic leader and philanthropist, working relentlessly to expand educational and business opportunities for minorities and women in STEM. In 2014, Nina was appointed by the White House as a presidential ambassador for global entrepreneurship. She's also a German Marshall Fellow, a British American Project Fellow, a Henry Crown Fellow at the Aspen Institute, and in 2019 became a lifetime member of the Council on Foreign Relations. And when we first spoke a few weeks ago, she had just been named the first entrepreneur in residence of the city of Dallas. But beyond all of these professional milestones, Nina is an energizer. The first time we spoke, I felt an instant connection. We both share an immigrant background, having been born outside the US and being able to thrive within this global and national community. We also share a commitment to leadership development and empowering individuals to achieve their full potential. Nina embodies the spirit and the vision of Atlas Corps, and I share those similarities with her. The only small difference is she is $1 billion ahead of me. Nina is also crazy good. I invite you to watch this brief video about her story.
20 years ago, I started my first company with a not-so-crazy idea that one person, one entrepreneur, could make a difference in the business world and in the community. And every day since then, I've been driven by one single idea: to be crazy good. Have grown Pinnacle to be one of the fastest growing companies in America. What is most satisfying is the difference that we're making in people's lives and how we can use that success now to inspire others to contribute to organizations and to use our leadership to actually make a difference, not just in our hometown, but across the world. We understand that when women succeed, America succeeds. The economic power that women have in this country is incredible. Entrepreneurship and hope are universal languages. They can go through challenges and obstacles, and they can inspire people to start businesses, to help in their communities, or to truly make a difference. What I am most passionate about is reminding people that they don't need permission to follow their dreams. And 20 years later, I've learned a lot of things. Surround yourself with people that truly want to see you succeed. And whatever you're doing in life, be crazy good at it. Be crazy good.
On behalf of Atlas Corps, it's an honor to present the 21 Atlas Corps Global Changemaker Award to Nina Baca.
While I am grateful for every breath that I take, I'm inspired by the moments that take my breath away. Tonight is one of those moments. As I sat there and witnessed and met all the people and digested the mission of this incredible organization and the impact that you have in this country and in this world, I can't help but be moved to stand here tonight among so many distinguished people, fellows, scholars, ambassadors, alumni, in the presence of some of my most cherished friendships, my most tenured friendships, and in the presence of my own husband, my mother, and my daughter. Tonight, you've taken my breath away. Thank you. To Scott Beale, who I've had a chance to meet earlier tonight and watch his smile. Look at what you've done. Look at what you've done. I refuse to call her Whitney. Madam Chair said 1,000, over 1,000 individuals representing over 100 countries. 15 years, your vision right here tonight, delivered in front of your very eyes. Congratulations, Scott Beale, in 15 years. And to the Atlas Corps team, I had the chance to interact with Bijan, and you know what? We did connect immediately. Within seconds of being on the phone, we were planning and strategizing, and I could tell that he was the right leader for the right time. To Bijan, to the whole Atlas team, to Madam Chair, and to all of you, your best days are in front of you. Congratulations on 15 years, and I'm looking forward to being part of it. I thought I would take a moment and just reflect on my own personal global experience. Because you see, to the fellows, I was once just like you, chosen for a fellowship, young and didn't know where it would lead. But these fellowships matter. They make a difference, because what Atlas sees in you is something perhaps that you don't even see in yourself. They know when they're in the presence of good people that are interested in changing the world. And so to all the fellows tonight, I am here to tell you that this is just the beginning. We see what you may not see yet. Trust me, I'm standing here as living proof. I am proud of you for being selected as a fellow. We honor you tonight in everything that we do, and I want to congratulate every fellow that's part of this program. Congratulations. I thought I might take a couple of minutes and talk about my journey and how these global programs affect my life and how it has impacted me and who I've become on a personal level and a business level. But you know what? Before I talk about my journey, you should know that my journey actually began before I was born. My journey began by a very courageous decision by an incredible woman who decided to leave her country and come to America to build a better life. My journey began as an entrepreneur before I was even born. And everything that I have become, I owe to that one decision to come to this country. A woman made that decision, and she's here with me tonight, my mother. Mama, you should take a bow. You know, as I prepared for my remarks, I stopped and reflected, and I had to think back and look back at all the years of my leadership. And one of the most pivotal moments in my 25-year history, by the way, Pinnacle is celebrating its 25-year anniversary this year, so I'm dating myself a little bit. I reflected back 17 years ago when I was selected as a German Marshall Fellow. It was my first opportunity. I've grown up in Los Angeles, born of Ecuadorian immigrants. I had known just North America in my home country of Ecuador. I didn't have a global perspective. I had been an entrepreneur. I started a company to try and uplift my family. And 17 years ago, I was selected to be a fellow of the German Marshall Fund. And you know, interestingly enough, Neil Semelis from the German Marshall Fund was there then, and he's here tonight too. Neil, and he sits on your board today. Neil has watched me grow up. But that fellowship saw something in me that I didn't begin to see. And it was the first time as a new mother, I had a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old, and it was one of the hardest things I ever had to do was to leave my family to gain perspective. And the German Marshall Fellowship afforded me the opportunity to travel to 5 different European countries and visit a continent that I'd never had ever visited before, but that my grandmother dreamed of. And so I went. And it piqued a curiosity in me, and it opened up my eyes to what is possible. And the hardest thing to do was to leave my family behind until it was 21 days, which seemed like the world at the time. But when you're a new mom and you have a 4-year-old little girl, that's the hardest thing to do. And I left her because I knew that if I invested in myself, then I would be a better mother. And that 4-year-old little girl is all grown up today. At the dawn of her graduation, following her mother's footsteps with a degree in communications and leadership with one of the best institutions in the country in Texas, she's here tonight too, my daughter Amanda Humberhouse. And that sparked my curiosity. To fellows, this is just the beginning. It's about consistency. And one thing is true, and if you look at my 25-year history, one thing you can find, a learning mindset and the consistency of constantly going into different programs and meeting new people and understanding new perspectives. And I was blessed enough to be appointed by President Obama as a presidential ambassador of global entrepreneurship. And my first trip was with Secretary of Commerce Penny Pritzker as we jetted off to none other than Africa. And I had the opportunity to travel in that capacity to 5 different continents and meet entrepreneurs who looked like me. And around the world, we traveled to Vietnam and Jordan and Africa and so many different places. And I benefited from the different perspective, and what I found out is that anywhere across the world, entrepreneurship is different, but one thing remains the same. People start businesses because they want to help their family. families. They want to benefit and help the next generation of their families, and they want to grow their families. And I'm proud to have, I saw Josh Mandel, who was with me in those days, traveling to those. Josh, thank you for your presence here today. Congratulations, thank you for him today. So that ambassadorship in representing the country in 5 different continents was powerful for me, so many different perspectives, and it helped me grow Pinnacle. By the way, we have service centers in some of the countries that I represented. And then the consistency, the curiosity. I was fortunate enough to be nominated as a Henry Crown Fellow for the Aspen Institute. And the Aspen Institute taught me a very important lesson, that while you can have a global perspective, you can think globally, but you gotta act locally. And that was a beautiful gift, because when the opportunity came across to accept the role as the first in the history of Dallas to be the entrepreneur in residence and to continue giving back to the community and helping entrepreneurs, I was anxious to say yes. And we have Abigail Golden Vasquez from the Aspen Institute here with us tonight too, in full support. And so I've talked about these global programs and how they impacted my life. They impacted my life on a personal level, and I'm about to tell you how. They impacted my business in an incredible level, because today Pinnacle stands as one of the fastest growing companies in America that I'm blessed of, and I take no credit. It is a group of people that are making that happen behind me. Trust me, my only honor is the honor to lead them. And so we today stand as the largest Latino-owned workforce solutions company in America, operating now in 4 different continents, many of the continents that I visited as a fellow of these programs. I'm proud to say that our best days are ahead of us as we celebrate our 25-year anniversary this year. But when I sum up all these fellowships, what I find is that these fellowships really revealed my purpose. Purpose is not something that you architect. It's not something that you create. It's something that's revealed. And in every single instance, in every single continent, in every single country, in every single human I met, it just really cemented in my heart and in my mind what my personal purpose is. And I had a big birthday last year, you know? And I'm very clear on my purpose. My purpose is to improve lives through entrepreneurship. It is what I was put on this earth to do, and it is what I do every day. And today I run a company whose purpose is to connect people with opportunity. It's what we do for a living, it's what I do in the community, and it is what I will spend the rest of my life doing. And so I invite you fellows, you alumni, to reveal your purpose through the work that you do for others. And when I look at everything that I have been able to accomplish, I'm reminded of the words of Sir Isaac Newton when he said, "If I have seen further than others, it is only because I'm standing on the shoulder of giants." And the giant that I stand tonight on top of, on the shoulders of, is a former honoree, Natalie Molino Nino, and my nominator. She's the giant that I stand on top of today. Thank you, Natalie, for your nomination, and thank you for being here. And this is my message to your fellows. Surround yourself by people that want to see you succeed. You heard that in the video. Live it every day. My giants are people like Natalie Molino Nino. They're people like Sue Allen, President and CEO of the U.S. Pan-Asian Chamber, who runs one of the largest and most powerful chambers here in D.C. Thank you for being here today. There people like Mark Madrid, who is the associate administrator of the SBA, who started in the trenches of community, but man, he represents the administration at such an incredible level. Mark, thank you for being here with me today. I stand on the shoulders of giants like Esther Aguilera, whose mission in life is to galvanize the most prominent Hispanics in America and place them on publicly traded company boards. Esther, thank you for being here today. And I stand on the shoulders of women like Yvonne Baki, who we've already recognized tonight. But what you don't know, what you do know is that she is the ambassador of Ecuador in this country. What you don't know is she's done it once, but twice, and the only woman to do so in Ecuadorian history. Thank you, Yvonne. Thank you for being here. And when we think of giants, my last message to you is one of the most important decisions that you will make in your life is who your life partner is. And everything that I've become and everything that I am today can be traced back to the support and the strong rock foundation of my life partner, my husband, Chima Marquez, who's here tonight. Thank you for your support. So all I can say to sum up tonight is thank you. I was moved by the people, the energy. I'm moved by the potential in the future of this organization. I believe, and I'm standing here as living proof, that these programs work. I invite you to participate even more. I invite you to find what you can do to help Atlas Corps grow even further and expand its mission and continue to impact the world. And as my purpose has been revealed to me, I promise you that I will do whatever in my power to continue living in my promise in your honor, and will always look at this honor as a beautiful moment that took my breath away. Thank you.
Can we please have a picture with Bijan quickly? Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you so much.
Wow. Did anybody shed tears of joy? I did, a couple. Wow. That was amazing. Inspiring.
Honestly, there's goosebumps and it's not from the AC, that's for sure.
I learned a couple of things tonight. So first, if you see further ahead than others, it's because you stand on the shoulders of giants.
Absolutely, because at this height, I know it's not going to be from me.
And you can be crazy and perfectly normal.
And good at it.
And successful.
Miss Vaka is evidence of that.
I'm inspired too to experience something like this in a couple of years, right?
I think it's possible.
It is?
I'm scared to say that it's possible, but I mean, she just told us it's possible, so.
I mean, when I met her earlier on today, I knew we also had that connection. Like, I could feel the connection. And I think that we have a lot of things in common.
Okay.
So I also left my family with 2 kids.
You know what?
From here to the US. So in a couple of years, just watch out for the big news. Kayode Yusuf, global change leader, $1 billion after, and receiving these inspiring awards.
I love it. And the best thing about that is that the common denominator between you and Ms. Vaca is not children, but connection, because that means I also stand a great chance. So if we can connect with people, we can, make it happen. And I love that. For me, the fellowship has reinforced for me how the activities we do today and the people we meet each day, lovely to meet all of I met today, can impact us way into the future. I expect big headlines for both of us. And one of the things that really stood out for me, well, two of the things, because how often do you say one of the things and actually say one thing? But two of the things that stood out for me today from Ms. Vaca's speech was perspective and connections. So I know that the Atlas core community embodies both of those things. And so I know we're on the right track, and that warms my heart greatly.
And speaking of headlines, tonight we have another honoree to recognize. And not just recognize, also to appreciate.
Yes. Funny you should mention that. Tonight, we present the Lifetime Achievement Award to Atlas co-founder Scott Beale. I know I'm smiling endlessly, but literally, I would not be standing here if it was not for Scott Beale. I don't know if they orchestrated this, but I'm actually looking at him as I say this, so this is great. Before I became a fellow, I felt like I knew Scott. From Facebook Lives, to videos, to the many emails he personally sent me. Don't tell me otherwise. Wait a minute. Have a few of you here received Scott Beale emails as well?
Personally, I had followed Scott for several years before I became a fellow. I followed you on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and I read news about you. So you were someone I looked up to. And I remember vividly the first time we shared the same virtual space. It was during our orientation in May 2020. It was surreal. I had to pinch myself like, am I in the same room with Scott Beale? And guess what? Tonight, we share the same physical space. All thanks to Atlas Scott. Thank you. Scott, it is truly an honor. Thank you very much for all of the work that you've done. Thank you.
So following, that kind of introduction, we were planning who should present this award, and we thought, should it be a fellow, a scholar, alumni, CEO, he just came in, staff. So we were thinking, how about we have a fellow who's alumni, who's helped create our Virtual Leadership Institute, which, if you do not know, was a great intervention when the COVID-19 pandemic came in and people could not meet physically, so the fellowship could not happen physically, to do the honors. And as Miss Courtney earlier mentioned, in our discussions alone, it was like, it's been such a hustle, but it's important that we manage to find a way to make it happen. And so it means a lot to me to be in the position to have the pleasure to say, join me in welcoming Atlas Co Class 2 alumni and the Chief Strategy Officer, Abby Robertson, to the front.
Oh, hello, friends. Oh, my goodness. Tonight is crazy good and crazy awesome. I just have to say that our thermometer, you are all blowing it out of the water. And it is amazing being here tonight together. And I just have to say that also this Turkish airline package that we're giving away is also very exciting because the thought of travel is also possible. And so I just want to thank you for that support. And it's awesome. It's awesome to celebrate tonight this Lifetime Achievement Award. And I actually think it's more of a lives-touched achievement award. Because when I think of Scott Beal, it's about the lives you've touched. At Atlas Corps, we have this impact equation. And we say with every Atlas Corps leader, you touch about 100 more people with that knowledge and network you bring. So I was doing the math in my head, and I said, okay, 1,100 leaders times 100, plus we've had like tens of thousands of applicants, plus 50,000 people on social media following us. And I was like, times 100, plus, carry the one, infinity. Scott Beal, you have achieved infinity amount of reaching people. And I do think it's only the beginning, because what you've really inspired is that when you connect with people, you can really make that difference. Personally, it was a Georgetown friend of Scott's. Georgetown is a big part of the Atlas Corps creation story. And he met me at a conference in 2007. And he said, you have to meet this guy, Scott Beal. Jan's watching tonight. And I was like, okay. And 6 months later, I was speaking at a conference. Scott was speaking at a conference. Scott dived into my room and said, hey, Abby, Jan said I had to meet you. And I'm speaking, so we'll talk later. And 6 months later, I was reading Atlas Corps applications because I was a good volunteer. It was Mother's Day, 2008. And I got the email that said, Atlas Corps is now recruiting for Columbia. And I said, what? I want to go to Columbia. So I emailed and said, should I be reading applications? Because I want to apply to Columbia. And in true Scott Beal form, 5 minutes later, I received an email that said, do not read any more applications, fill out yours. Good luck applying to Columbia. And then come August, I was at orientation, my bags packed, ready to go to Bogota, Colombia. Thank you, Scott. And I learned one of the most important lessons of my life in that orientation. So Dr. Gary Weaver was a longtime individual involved with Atlas Corps who gave our cultural adaptation. And the lesson he shared is that when you're going through cultural adaptation and change, you have this feeling when things are challenging, you want to close in. And you just want to be by yourself. And that's exactly the time when you should not be by yourself. Is when you need to reach out, call a friend, go have coffee, talk to someone, because that is when you need that support. And I've carried that with me all these years, and I've tried to live that out. And I see that is Scott's mantra, is that he reaches out to people. And in the great milestones and achievements of Atlas Corps, Scott was about a party. He's like, let's celebrate. Let's bring people together. I want to stand on a table and I'm going to tell the world the Atlas Corps story. And also through the hard times of Atlas Corps, I mean, it was not all fancy dress and wonderful dinners. Scott would still reach out and he'd look for advice and he'd ask for support. And that's what really brought people into this community, why we're all here tonight. And that's what really inspired me to invest. And I want to thank Scott for reaching out to people and for personally impacting my life. We've shared family, we've shared children. Our spouses even share the same name, Courtney. And I thank you for the lives you've touched, for the lives you will touch, and for what you have inspired. Because you truly are an inspiration, you're a visionary, and you're a believer. You're a believer in the potential of individuals to achieve. So thank you. Please join me in welcoming Scott Beal to the Lifetime Achievement Award. I might need to hold this one. Let's get our photo. Ready?
Okay. Oh, how could you not believe in Abby, right? I mean, I definitely believe in Abby, and I believe in Atlas Corps. You know, I'm going to do my best to be concise because I've said so many things over so many years. But I do want to say that, like, I really do take nothing for granted. I don't take this award, this evening, this dinner, this company, this opportunity for granted. And that was before the pandemic. Like, I truly feel every day of my life has been such a blessing, even those super difficult days, not just the standing on the table days. Sometimes they're both. And so I'm very thankful for each opportunity and each path, each journey. And I'm particularly thankful for tonight. As so many folks know, the founding idea of Atlas Corps was that idea that we had in India, my wife and I, and meeting folks like Gargi. We actually knew Gargi before we knew Atlas Corps. And it was that talent was universally distributed in the world, but opportunity was not. And we know this, it's true, we've seen it, we've proven it in Atlas Corps. We're not, frankly, the only ones. That all around the world there are smart, talented people that want to make a difference. And if given the opportunity, not only can they come and learn and serve, but that we can learn from them. And that we can all benefit from that equation. And most powerfully, they can go back home as part of a community that continues to support them, to believe in them, to grow their work, and multiply it back in their home communities. Over 1,000 leaders, over 100 countries, and it doesn't even really, the numbers don't even really do it justice. But what I want to reflect on just for a second is that it's not just the opportunity that we've given to so many folks or that we've opened up or whatever the right verb is, right? But it's the opportunity that you've given me. It's not just believing in the fellows. You believed in me, and you believed in Atlas Corps, and you believed in Abby, and that has meant everything to all of us. No opportunities are guaranteed. No days are certain. And so I'm thankful for those opportunities. I'm thankful for these last 15 years. I'm very, very thankful for all of you. I'm particularly grateful for the board and the incredible leadership of Whitney. And we have founding board members here tonight, actually 2 at my table. The board has provided incredible leadership for the organization over the years. And Atlas Corps would not be where it's at any point in our history today, and especially going forward, if it weren't for the incredible generosity and leadership of our board of directors. I'm incredibly thankful for our staff, for Abby, and so many folks who are here in the back, and I promised folks I wouldn't name names, but you know who you are. And I'm just so thankful for how hard people believe, because, you know, there's this YouTube video, I don't know if you've seen it, it's one of my favorite leadership videos, leadership lessons of a shirtless dancing guy. You should go look it up. I'm not going to act it out, but I've sort of been acting it out for 15 years. So anyway, just to make this speech longer than it's supposed to be, the whole idea of leadership lessons of a shirtless dancing guy is that a social entrepreneur is kind of like a crazy shirtless dancing guy. It's like, up there, but no one really, that's just sort of crazy. But it's not till that second person comes up and is like, I like the music too. I hear the beat that you hear, which is not exactly the right beat, but I'm with you. And then all of a sudden, there's more people dancing and a movement happens, and all of a sudden you're a part of something that is much crazier and larger than the shirtless dancing person. That entrepreneur by themselves is actually nothing. It's the person who joins the entrepreneur who brings things forward, which is everything. So appreciation to the staff and to Abby and so many folks. To the fellows, to our alumni, folks like Gargi who got on the plane before Atlas Corps even existed, but also folks like in this room who are like, yeah, pandemic, yeah, I'm good. Give me the visa, we're good. It's not as if the U.S. is doing much worse with COVID than my country. My mom thinks this is a really bad idea, but yes, I will go to the United States because this guy on YouTube thought it was a good idea. I hear the beat, I hear the music, I'm all in. And to our donors and our supporters and to the corporations and to the foundations, like, who believe in this, who believe in Atlas Corps, who believe in us, who believe in this opportunity, who are here at the table tonight. I am so excited and so thankful for these last 15 years, and I'm actually more excited for the next 15, because I think it's going to be a little bit less work for me, but I'm still on board. Literally, I'm still on board. I'm particularly excited for Bijan and the leadership and the vision and the experience and the energy that he brings to this table. Like, yes, yes! This isn't a 15-year party, this is a 150-year party. I'm just thankful. I'm thankful for this opportunity and for this journey for these last 15 years. I appreciate you being with me on this journey, and I appreciate you letting me stay with you for the years to come. Thank you for this recognition. Thank you for everything. Thank you to all at Atlas Corps.
So at Atlas Corps, we have a tradition, and thank you to Scott. He is like the tradition creator. It's our pinning ceremony. So as you can see, Scott very proudly wears his Atlas Corps pin. And when fellows complete their week of orientation, we present them with the Atlas Corps pin in a way to officially welcome to them to the community. So our chairperson of the board, Whitney, has a special presentation for Scott tonight.
Abby, you need to stay too, because I think I might have just pulled off the surprise of the century. So as Abby said, there is a tradition for pinning, and actually I can't take credit for this idea. It was somebody on the staff that had this idea of having a special pin made for you, Scott, with a ring that symbolizes 15 years, not a ring, sorry, a stone that symbolizes 15 years. We also, Scott, thought you would be okay sharing the stage with Abby, also getting your own special pin for 10 years. So it's my great honor to pin the two of you guys. This is also special thanks to a board member who used to work in the jewelry business. Scott also alluded to this, but Scott's still on the board, so he's not going anywhere. Yes, you can go now. Thank you. But truly, Scott, thank you for everything. Thank you for bringing us here tonight. And Abby, we do have one more gift for you, because you did an amazing job this year, and we want to thank you. So we wanted to make sure that you got honored. And I did think I surprised you, right? You did not know this was coming? Yeah, there was a little bit of coordination that happened. But anyways, thank you so much. And Scott, thank you for bringing Abby into our lives, because we knew this transition would go well. And when you're a board chair and your CEO says, I'm leaving in 4 weeks, you do kind of get a little bit nervous, except when you have Abby at the helm. And then you say, let's go. We can do this. So thank you so much. One last request, please make sure to give lots of hugs and thanks to both Scott and Abby tonight. And Nina, you are a powerhouse. Thank you for bringing your amazing community into our lives. Although also thank you to Natalie, because I know, Natalie, you are actually responsible for this too. But truly, 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 thank you everyone for being here. And please join us in the next 15 years. Scott will still be around, but we are all living out your legacy, so thank you.
Whoop, whoop. I'm sorry, Whitney, before you go too far, maybe we can just have a quick picture with you, Scott, and Abby, so that, we can hold this moment in, what do they say about pictures? Saying more than 1,000 words, yes.
It's our night of being celebrities, so we order everyone around.
Oh my God.
Seriously nervous about this.
Oh, to the light? I'm so sorry.
Married, but I think that's probably what it feels like to be married, to have so many people watch you while your photo's being taken.
Thank you all for being so patient, because I can imagine there's like 10 seconds of like, what do I do now? But that's over now. And we're so happy for, the amazing things. One of the things I really love about Atlas Core, aside from community, because it turns out there's a jewel person, what are they called even? Like somebody who can make a stone for somebody else, but like in the connection. And that's what happens with community. It's like you have all these networks, and that's something that, Scott mentioned in his speech. The energy, somebody willing to just take on the things and just have them there. But the thing that really stood with me, because it's quite a lot, and if you've been on YouTube, you can find that Scott is always dropping a lot of nuggets. You just have to choose where you want to go. Because information, is a lot, but you just have to be ready for the season. But the biggest thing that stood out for me today was that in this moment today, in DC, this was my first international travel, in case you're wondering why, but yeah. I'm thankful for opportunities that found us ready, because somebody could have sent me the Atlas Core link, but maybe I didn't want, because as fellows and scholars know, the application process is not, it's not just like, I just have 5 minutes on my hands. You have to be dedicated. So I'm grateful that this opportunity found me ready. I'm grateful that when Scott Bill decided to start this, it found him ready. I'm grateful that when our current CEO, Bijan Nashat, received a call, it found him ready. Whitney, I'm grateful that it found you ready to, explore having Abby. I'm grateful that it had, guys, you get that I could go on and on. But the important thing is that all of us are in this room today, whether it's a host org, whether it's a sponsor, it found us ready, because that's what gives it the value. And honestly, my heart is so full. I'm holding in tears, so because it just doesn't look good to cry globally. And we know we're screening this. So please allow me not to make this about me any further, but congratulations, Scott. Thank you for everything that you've created. You had this idea, and now here we are. You have literally, personally touched the lives of so many around the world, including myself and so many people watching and those in attendance. And we can't thank you enough, but all we can say is thank you, and we hope that you get to, see more through Bijan, through all of us as fellows, as we grow, as we get into more next year with more fellows being able to come through to DC. So thank you so much.
Did I just hear an acceptance speech?
Stop. You know, I'll have the real one for the Nobel Prize, but for now, we're good.
I just love being an Atlas Copc Fellow. Well, now an alumni. I love the inspiring people that we get to meet with, the people that are a part of our Atlas Copc community.
Yeah, and you know, do you remember the last thing that happened when we put up the thermometer again? We were like 10 times above. So I love the generosity. Check out this thermometer that's going to come up on the screen.
Whoa!
Stop it!
Whoa!
$10,900. This smile is for each one of you. Whether you're here today in DC, whether you're online, your generosity warms my heart. And you can tell because I'm wearing an open outfit, but I'm not freezing, so I'm warm. Please remember, you can participate if you're here in the room or if you're online. Each $100 gift increases your chance to win. We're going to keep the raffle open through Giving Tuesday on November the 30th. So just go, go, go. If you didn't come, you know, with your details, there's still time. And at the end of the day, we're all happy. We win because Atlas Copc is getting to support more people, and you win with the amazing raffle prizes.
Yeah, so go, 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 so you can win, win, win. By the way, we have one Atlas Copc tradition, and that's the Atlas Copc song. Tonight, we present a special version that's dedicated to the inspiration of Scott Bale, an individual who has inspired so many people, and who never shies away from a camera. Let's have the video, please.
Welcome to atlascorps.org. My name is Scott Bio, and I'm the founder of Atlas Service Corps. I want to take a few minutes to tell you about this exciting new international organization. This is a celebration of you
Because we are Atlas Corps. We are this program, and we look back on tonight, on 5 years ago, and look back on in the future and say, I was part of launching that program. I believed in that idea. I believed in the people who are part of it and the people who became part of it. And I'm glad to say that I helped launch Atlas Corps. I'm glad that I helped launch Atlas Corps. And I'm glad that you helped launch Atlas Corps too. And for that, I'm eternally grateful.
I think it's only right to say nothing after that, but congratulations, Scott. Thank you for what you've created. It's not often that I get to say that I literally wouldn't be here if it was not for you, but in this case, it's the truth. You have personally touched the lives of so many around the world.
I'm lost for words. Thank you once again, Scott. It's truly an honor. Finally, before we leave, I think it's good we check that thermometer again and see what our temperature looks like tonight. $11,000, people. $11,000. Thank you very much. We may have broken the scale, but you can still give. It's never too much. There's a lot more to be done.
Absolutely. And, you know, there's still time because we're going to have this open till November the 30th. So as you join us in the celebration with our Atlas Corps alum DJ Anasu, you can still donate. As you get into the weekend, you can still donate. As you get into next week, you get the theme, right? You can still donate. But we're so happy to have all of you, so please join us, you know, for drinks and dancing in the reception hall, and we'll just have a good time. You can network some more and just really enjoy. I know that I enjoyed the time, you know, earlier connecting with people, so I look forward to that. And, you know, I don't mean to fit into some stereotypes, but I really got some mad moves, so you want to look for me. But yeah, you know, let's go have a fun time.
And thank you for letting us be your host tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Say
This is a celebration of you, because we are Atlas Corps. We are this program, and we look back on tonight, on 5 years ago, and look back on in the future and say, I was part of launching that program. I believed in that idea. I believed in the people who are a part of it and the people who became a part of it. And I'm glad to say that I helped launch Atlas Corps. I'm glad that I helped launch Atlas Corps. And I'm glad that you helped launch Atlas Corps too. And for that, I'm eternally grateful.